What is up, you guys? This is All Day Any Day 1 on the PS4, and I'm going to be giving you another Red Dead Redemption 2 online video. And with this video I'm going to be giving you is, I'm going to be going over what abilities I believe are going to be top tier, or pretty much the best abilities to go for. And I'm just speaking on terms of tier 1. So these abilities, I have all of the abilities, and I've tested all of them as well. And some of them, or a lot of them, are maxed out. But I'm just going to be speaking on the terms of them being at tier 1. And yeah, because not all of them are fully upgraded. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to start with Deadeye. So with Deadeye, obviously you need to be certain levels. First of all, you need to be certain levels to get certain perk cards. But the perk card, I believe, is going to be the very best Deadeye ability is going to be Slow and Steady. Because with Slow and Steady, you take less damage when you're using Deadeye, and you don't die instantly from a headshot, which is amazing against players who use varmint rifles, because varmint rifles against players using Slow and Steady does very little damage. Now if that person is using a bolt action or a repeater or even a shotgun, those can do a lot of damage. Or if they throw a tomahawk or throwing knife or an explosive, anything like that, it can do a lot of damage. Now, obviously, if you get it to tier 3, you're going to take a lot less damage. The only thing that can one-shot you, though, with the gun-wise, I'm not talking about like tomahawks. Tomahawks will one-shot anyone anyways. But gun-wise is going to be a shotgun. Any shotgun can one-shot someone using Slow and Steady. And the downfall about Slow and Steady is the fact that you can't run or sprint. You can dodge still, but what I normally do is I just go into Deadeye right away as soon as I see someone, because the good thing about Deadeye is you have 100% accuracy, so the reticle doesn't have to close slow, it just closes instantly, which is amazing. And I think Slow and Steady is great for that, because you're going to be standing there anyways, so you might as well not take a lot of damage or not instantly die when you use Slow and Steady. And then the second Deadeye I would say would be Focus Fire. The reason why I would say Focus Fire is because not everyone is using varmint rifles. And the reason why obviously the reason why I'm saying Focus Fire is because people are using bolt actions and using repeaters and whatnot, and those do a lot of damage. Especially if you have this, I want to say if you have this to tier 3, because I've seen players kill me, do a lot of damage with bolt actions while using Focus Fire. And they go for headshots on me while I'm using Slow and Steady, and it kills me pretty quick when multiple players are shooting at me and someone has Focus Fire active, because Focus Fire doesn't just give you a damage buff, it gives everyone in your team a damage buff while you have it active. So that's going to be really, really, really good to have. So just these two I would highly recommend getting for sure. And then Quite an Inspiration is also great for PvE. Slippery Bastard is not bad, it's just really annoying. Painted Black, I don't care too much for the marking. It's good for tomahawk kills and whatnot, and then a moment to recuperate does heal more than Quite an Inspiration, but if you get hit, you're not getting the heal anymore. But it's nice, and I think the reason why you do get healed more with this is because it's a single thing. It's not for everyone, it's just for yourself. Now for the passives I have active right now are definitely going to be top tier, or just the best passives in general. Now I'm not saying this whole build right here is going to be the best. The builds varies with different players, so you can have your own very best build or passives or Deadeye, whatever. But just this build alone for myself is what I like to use, and I do really well with it. So Unblinking Eye, Eye for an Eye, and Coldblooded. And just at tier 1, Unblinking Eye, you can notice a pretty significant difference between having it and not having it. And it's really nice, because having the reduced Deadeye drain helps a lot, especially if you're using Slow and Steady, or if you're using Slippery Bastard. But with Slippery Bastard, it'll still drain pretty quick, even if it's tier 1 and tier 1 on both cards. But with Slow and Steady, it doesn't drain as quick, and then having Unblinking Eye just makes it drain a lot slower, so you can keep that Deadeye active and just keep eating up shots while you're just shooting around. Now for Eye for an Eye, this is really good because just, I want to say at tier 1 you get maybe an extra 10% Deadeye gain, or maybe 15% or so from headshot kills, which is really nice because you get a little bit of Deadeye if you don't have this perk, if you don't have the tier 1 at least. If you don't have the Eye for an Eye ability card, you're going to get a little bit of Deadeye back. But with it, with the Eye for an Eye ability, you get a lot more. And if you get it all the way maxed out to tier 3, you're going to notice you're getting about 20 to 25% Deadeye restored. So it takes 4 to 5 headshot kills just to restore your Deadeye all the way to max. Which means, in a combination with Unblinking Eye and Slow and Steady, makes you a huge tank. And then the last one is going to be Coldblooded. So the Coldblooded, it regens your health every 5 seconds, pretty much, whenever you get a kill. And it doesn't matter how the kill was earned. It doesn't have to be a headshot kill, explosive, or whatever. You just need to get a kill. And what it says, or I want to say it's, you get maybe 20-25% health regen as well in total, not like 25% per second each 5 seconds, but I want to say just in total 15, not 20 to 25, but 15 to 20% health back whenever you get a kill, which is still a lot. I mean, granted, it does heal over time, so anytime you take a shot, you know, your health goes back down, but it's still regenerating because it doesn't cancel it. It just backs it down or backs it up a little. Now with the other passives, I'm going to go over things like Strange Medicine. I think is a really great one. Peak Condition is situational, not situational. It depends on the type of player you are. So for me, I like to sprint a lot. I like to run around. So Peak Condition is not going to be useful for someone like myself. Now, if you're not someone who likes to sprint around, if you are someone who generally crouches and runs around, because, I mean, that, I think with crouching and running, you don't use any stamina. It actually regens your stamina. Peak Condition is going to be great for you. And if you're, especially if you're using something like a varmint, not a varmint rifle, but a bolt action or a repeater, you do a lot more damage with that as well. So I would highly recommend using Peak Condition as well if you are the type of player who does enjoy, or not necessarily enjoy, but whose playstyle is to crouch around a lot. And then another good one is Winning Streak. Winning Streak is really good for people who are, I wouldn't say using varmint rifles, because varmint rifle already does a very low amount of damage, and I mean, you want to, with varmint rifles, you're just going for headshots. But bolt actions and repeaters as well, you don't have to necessarily go for headshots, because I've seen players who use Winning Streak and has hit, like, pretty much taken half my health. Not with Slow and Steady, but just half my health in general using Winning Streak. Because I asked them, I was like, dude, how'd you do so much damage to me with the bolt action? And because generally they do about maybe 75% of, not 75, but like a quarter of half. 25% of my health. But what is it? So yeah, he told me that he's using Winning Streak and Peak Condition. So I guess the combination of Winning Streak and Peak Condition is really good together. But yeah, I would highly recommend using Winning Streak for people who use bolt actions and repeaters as well. And then the last one would be Never Without One. So Never Without One is probably the best ability to go for, if only it did not bug out. Oh, you know what? There's another one as well. So I'll go over the other ability after this one. But the reason why Never Without One I would say is the best is because you're immune to headshots for one shot while you have your hat. And if you have it upgraded, you're going to take less damage while you still have your hat on. And once your hat is off, you take more damage. Now the problem with this though is once your hat gets shot off, sometimes it's like a 50-50 chance of you respawning with or without your hat. And if you respawn without your hat throughout the showdown or once in the showdown match, you're never going to respawn with your hat back on you until the next game. So the next game mode or whatever, or if you go back into free mode and you can put your hat back on. But just in showdowns alone, if you respawn without the hat, you're not going to be able to put the hat on, which means you're going to always take more damage, which is going to be very unfortunate. And then you're going to have to just go to your abilities, and then you're going to have to switch it out with something else, because you're not going to want to take more damage overall, and it sucks. But if it worked right, this would be no doubt one of the best abilities to have, in my opinion. And then the last one is going to be Strange Medicine. So Strange Medicine and Coldblooded are kind of somewhat similar in a way, but I would highly recommend Coldblooded anyways, because it doesn't affect your actual health regen. Strange Medicine does. Now with Strange Medicine though, every shot you do, you get a lot of health back. I mean, if you get it to tier 3, you get a lot of health back. Tier 1 is not a lot, but it's a little bit of a notice. Now the downfall about Strange Medicine is it reduces your health regen by 50%, which is a lot. And you will notice that your health is regenerating really slow. Now if you have tonics that will help give you health regen to full, then that would be even better. That would be really good to have. But it would also get really annoying having to go back into your satchel or having to press L1 or L2, whatever your button is, to your ability wheel, and then having to drink a tonic to get your health back. But I mean, if you prefer using Strange Medicine, there's nothing wrong with it except for that 50% health regen downfall. But when you're using Deadeye, so like what I did was when I used Deadeye, Slow and Steady, and then with the Unblinking Eye and Eye for an Eye, Strange Medicine worked really well, better than Coldblooded, honestly, because I was taking less damage and I was also getting health back because of Deadeye. So I was able to keep myself at full health against like 5 or 6 other players in the showdown, and that's just because of Strange Medicine. I was just getting health back over and over and over just because of how little damage they were doing to me. So that's honestly, I think that would be the only reason, or the only way I would use Strange Medicine. Other than that, I mean, unless you don't get shot at too often, Strange Medicine is not going to be that great over Cold-Blooded. But honestly, that's pretty much it with the abilities, or I guess my top ability picks, I guess you want to call it. But anyways, I'm going to go over each one again real quick, so just a little recap. So for the Deadeye, I would highly recommend Slow and Steady and Focus Fire. Then for the passives, I would highly recommend Unblinking Eye, Eye for an Eye, and Cold-Blooded. And then for the other passives would be Strange Medicine, Peak Condition, Never Without One, and Winning Streak. And that is pretty much it with this video. If this helps you out at all, go and leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know down in the comment section as well. I will try my best to post more informational like guides and whatnot. I don't know if I want to keep making build videos necessarily, because I think it's better for people to figure it out themselves. I just want to give you guys the information of like what abilities are probably better than the others, because I don't want you guys to be wasting $50 on an ability and then another $350 to upgrade it to tier 2 and then $500 to tier 3 just to find out it's not worth using. So I'm really hoping that's what this video does for you guys. Hopefully it helps you guys out a lot. But anyways, that is pretty much it, and I did not mean to do that. But yeah, if like I said, if this helps you out, go and leave a like, comment, subscribe. This is All Day Any Day 1 on the PS4. Have a good day, good night, and peace.